こんにちは、ジャパニーズのミサです。This is the second episode for absolute beginners. So do you remember こんにちは? And do you remember こんにち means today but in old Japanese. And 今日 is the modern Japanese word for today. And は is the particle speaking of.This is very important because は is a topic marker. So, こんにちは, こんにちは. And if I want to say I'm Misa, I can say 私は Misa です. But I usually omit 私は because I don't want to sound oh me, speaking of me, talking about me. So I just say Misa です. So this is the verb for to be, right? Alright, so let's learn some vocabulary. If you want to say this or that, it's a bit more complicated than in English. Pikachu と Kitty ちゃんです。In Japanese, this is これ Pikachu has a paper. Do you remember? It's kami, right? Can also mean hair and god.If Pikachu says this is a paper, he would say これは紙です。これは紙です。So we say speaking of this, it is a paper. So これは紙です。But we also have this word それ. From Kitty-chan's perspective, this paper is それ. So これ means this near myself. So これ. So if I have a pen, this is これ. これはペンです to me. But you guys are watching me, and それ you use it that you have or that near the person you're talking to. So to you guys, this pen would be それ これ to me, but それ to you. Kitty-chan would say それは紙です to Pikachu. Kitty-chanのリボン is それ to him. So he would say それはリボンです。それはかわいいリボンです。And we also have this あれ which is quite similar to English that. あれ is that far away. So これ is something near myself. それ is something near you. And あれ is something there, like over there. So this is a tree. In Japanese it's ki. From Pikachu and Kitty-chan, they would say あれは木です。あれは木です。Okay, so これ basically means this one. それ that one near you. あれ that one far away. But we have also these この、その、あの。Okay, let's first take a look at this 私. So 私 is I, right? But if you put this no is kind of like a possessive particle. So it's like English S thing. So 私の eyes. So it means my or mine. Remember, it can also mean mine. So you can say これは私のです. This is mine. これは私のペンです. This is my pen. 私の you don't have to say pen. But whilst these ones are a bit tricky because you always have to put now after these この、その、あの. There is no way you can say このは you'd have to say これは, right? Put any noun. For example, Pikachu would say この紙 this paper. So it's just a big chunk of a noun. It's not a sentence, alright? So この紙 this paper. He can say この紙は白いです。この紙は白いです。This paper is white. Kitty-chan say その紙は白いです。That paper you have is white. And they would say あの木は大きいです。大きい You can remember, like, imagine there is a huge key and you say 大きい. So 大きい, but the word for key is kagi, so it's different. But yeah, 大きい is big. You might hear word でかい in anime, it means huge or humongous. It's more colloquial. あの木は大きいです。あの木は大きいです。That tree is big. So you cannot say あれ木 or あのは, but you'd have to say あの木は大きいです。Don't say あれ木は大きいです。Although you can say あれは大きい木です。That is a big tree. あれは大きい木です。So either これは、それは、あれは or この noun は、その noun は、あの noun は. So don't get confused. 私の You can say 私のは. So let's say you have Pikachu as well, and I also have Pikachu. And I want to say my Pikachu, mine, is cute, but yours is not. Then I would say 私のはかわいいです。私のはかわいいです。Then you can say のは, but for these この、その、あの never put particle は right after this. Okay, so let's do some practice. If you want to say this is water, the word for water is 水. So これは水です。What about this water is cold? The word for cold is 冷たい. But be careful, we have two words for cold. One of them is 冷たい, which is more like cold touch, whilst there is also 寒い. It's the weather-wise, so like 冬は寒いです。ロシアの冬はとっても寒いです。So how do you say this water is cold? この水は冷たいです。I hope you didn't say これ水, but この水は冷たいです。次, next. This is a camera. これはカメラです。But what if I want to say this camera is pink? Pink is pink, so it's easy. このカメラはピンクです。このカメラはピンクです。What about this movie is interesting? この映画は面白いです。What about this is an interesting movie? これは面白い映画です。What about this game is boring? The word for game is game and boring. つまらない。つまらない。But we usually pronounce like つまんない。つまんない in colloquial speech. You don't really use the word boring in formal speech, I think, so you can stick to つまんない。つまんない。Okay, so this game is boring. このゲームはつまんないです。Or more formally, このゲームはつまらないです。How about I would give you a compliment on your thing? Then I would use その, right? So let's say you're wearing a watch. The word for watch is 時計, which can also mean clock. So would you say that watch you have? その時計。その時計。That you have is a watch. Then それは時 時計です。それは時計です。But if I, for example, want to say, that watch is cool, then I'd say, その時計はかっこいいですね。Cool because manly. Don't use like, let's go to see a movie. Cool. Don't use かっこいい like that. But it actually means cool because it's manly. その時計はかっこいいです。I would even put ね at the end. その時計はかっこいいですね。Japanese people put ね at the end of a sentence all the time. It's like, isn't it? Don't you think? It's because of the Japanese culture that we don't want to stand out, but we want the person to agree, or we want the listener to feel the same way. So, for example, if I want to say, it's hot, isn't it? Then I'd say, 暑いですね. In English, you can just say, it's hot. And then maybe the other person would say, yeah, it's hot. But in Japanese, we say, 暑いですね. Or in colloquial speech, 暑いね. How would you say new anime is interesting? So the word for new is a bit long. 新しい. So 新しいアニメ word for interesting 面白い Omo is a word for face, and shiroi, you guys know it, it means white. It means face white literally, but origin of this word is when you laugh or smile, your mood gets brighter, so that's why your face is white. So 面白い new anime is interesting. 新しいアニメは面白いです。If I want the listener to agree, 新しいアニメは面白いですね. If I want to say this new anime, then この新しいアニメ. So this new anime is interesting. この新しいアニメは面白いです. Okay, let's get back to the sono. Is that pen you have expensive? そのペンは高いですか? そのペンは高いですか? 高い means expensive. そのペンは高いですか? But remember, その means that near you. Although I sometimes translate like that you have. But for example, if you have a car but there is no car near you right now, then I would have to say your name no. So just like watashi no, my. If I want to say your something, I would have to put the name of the person and then no. Although textbook tells you to use anata, never use it. It can be rude. So your name is Daniel, for example. Then I would say ダニエルさんのペンは高いですか? Is your pen expensive, Daniel? Your car is cool. ダニエルさんの車はかっこいいですね. Well, if I want to say that is a church, then I would say あれは教会です. あれは教会です. Another example, that pizza shop's pizza is delicious. あのピザ屋のピザはおいしいです. So pizza and ya is a suffix for store. So pizzaya is pizza store, pizza shop. And pizzaya no pizza wa oishii desu. Oishii means tasty, delicious. So like in English, you say, oh, this pizza is so good. You use the word good, which is i in Japanese, but you cannot use i or talking about food, you have to use the word oishii. So if you talk to Japanese people in English, they will definitely use the word delicious, tasty, because we don't know that we can use the word good for oishii. You might hear the word umai or ume in One Piece especially. This is very colloquial and guys could say it. Ume, umai. Alright, so I think this is enough for you guys today. You've learned so many adjectives and a lot of new information. If you didn't understand, watch it again or leave a comment, then I'll answer you. Don't be a passive learner, but repeat the words, also take notes and use Anki deck. You'll be fluent with me soon. OK, じゃあまたね。バイバイ。